Welcome. It's Sopranos Prima Volta. I, of course, am Sam Roberts. This is world-renowned New York City comedian Ian Fidance. For me, I've seen The Sopranos more times than I can count.
Hey, we got a lot of times over here.
But for Ian,
Eh?
it's a Prima Volta.
It's a Prima Volta.
Commandatore.
Commandatore Paisanos.
Bienvenido.
Come si bella.
That's right. That's 100% right. Welcome, Ian. We're hitting almost the midway point. Of course, today we'll be going over season 4, episode 5, which is Pyomai.
Yes.
Which will, it's definitely a significant episode, an episode that will continue to have significance as we keep going.
Yes.
How are we feeling?
Well, first of all, I'm feeling grateful for my shirt. Isn't this shirt great?
I'm a fool to do your dirty work. Oh, yeah.
Got it off a guy named Double Wonderful on Instagram. Check him out. It's a killer shirt. Anyway.
It is. It's a Steely Dan shirt.
Steely Dan Tony Soprano shirt.
If I remember right, I believe that shirt is when I realized that you had never seen the show, because you said you didn't even get the reference when you got the shirt. You just thought it was one of those weird, like, mashup shirts.
Yeah.
Where it's like, imagine the Sopranos and Steely Dan together.
I thought this shirt with Tony Soprano and I'm a fool to do your dirty work was about him killing. Like he was doing some dirty work and he was a fool for it.
You didn't realize that he just rides around Jersey listening to Q104.
Yeah, and he really bops and moves a weird way.
Oh, yeah.
He does these things when he's driving, like, he really gets into it, and then he eats weird, too.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, it's really interesting. It's really interesting with Tony that, like...
Oh, and also you asked how I was feeling. And
yes.
I want to say I'm feeling grateful for my shirt, but for the commentators out there, for digging the show.
Yeah.
Enjoying the show, liking, subscribing, commenting, no spoilers, and saying commendatory when they see me. And if you want to be a paisan, I mean, do what I do and give us some Whitmans.
Oh, my God. No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a wonderful gift.
Yeah. And
that's
as you can
great.
tell, every week,
nut caramel.
It's got, that one has nut caramel. I did get my Carm Whitman's in a shape of a heart for Valentine's Day. And she said, is this Whitman's? And I said, yes. And she said, what's like how do you make a sound for rolling eyes? But if you want to be...
Como se dice rolling eyes?
Como se dice over it and annoyed.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, give us some Whitman's or... an envelope full of cash, or, murder someone for us.
Look, you want to prove you're a friend of ours, a nice box of Whitman's. Mm-hmm. You want to prove you're an earner, that's a different story.
That's right.
That's
right. Some cold hard pie on my cash.
Well, that's exactly what we see in this episode, Pyomai. Going back into Tony's love of animals, of course, which
I find it so endearing.
I think that's thematic of the show, and I think that's why the show is designed to prey on the emotions of people like you. But who are...
Wait, what do you mean people like me?
Friends of ours.
Was that disrespect?
From me?
Who are you fucking talking to?
Furio?
Yeah.
Artie?
No. Back up. Go back one.
Furio?
I'm Furio.
Oh, Furio.
He needs it. Well, what about Furio in the date?
Well, okay, so I think that Tony's love of animals, it goes to this like place where, like, I know I talk about what a bad person Tony is all the time.
Yes.
But most of that is because you talk about what a good person Tony is all the time. And I think that the love of animals is more that, like, I think really the show is about that good and bad isn't a thing. Mm-hmm. Like, there is no he's a good person or he's a bad person. We're all complicated beings. To say that Tony Soprano is a good person
right.
is a fallacy. But to sit here and say that he's soulless, I think you could disprove that as well.
Yes. His level of psychopathy.
Psychopathy.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Como se dice?
Como se dice?
Psychopathy. Psychopathy. English is not my first language. Unfortunately, I studied it in a college. But I had too much Armagnac.
Como se dice ecstasy?
Como se dice shot cocaine? No, but Tony, it's like his love of animals, because everyone can relate to loving animals. People put their pets and everything above everyone else, and it's just such a funny juxtaposition of this big, huge, fucking monster guy to have such a soft spot for little animals and like creatures that need protection.
I think too that there is part of it is that Tony has conditional love. Tony is a very loving person under his conditions only.
Right.
Meaning it's easier to love an animal because they're not complicated. They don't have their own stuff going on.
And the animal won't fail you.
No.
The animal will...
Well, you're just justifying Tony.
What? The animal won't fail you. The animal won't rat on you. The animal will never wear a wire.
You won't have the animal doing things that the animal shouldn't be doing.
I mean, you can train an animal.
You can, but guess what? Then they turn on you. You ever see a lion turn on the ringmaster in the circus?
Yeah, but you don't think they could get a mafia attack dog? Like a mafia dog hitman? A hit dog?
You know what? If the mafia got hit dogs,
right?
I believe that people would have a much lower tolerance for the mafia.
Yeah.
I think that, like, you watch Goodfellas, you watch movies like that, and you can put up with all of it. But if they were just, like, training dogs into killers, people would be like, fuck the mafia. They're not cool. They mistreat dogs. Instead of going,
oh,
yeah.
I thought people would think it was cool because they're giving dogs jobs.
Yeah, that's what dogs need after all.
They're just guys training the dogs, you know, giving them jobs, rewarding them for killing.
Yeah. Oh, you'd say they would get treats.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I misunderstood the original
premise.
premise.
People in the mafia are good people, so they would treat the dogs well to then kill.
Right. Because the people in the mafia treat people so well.
Well, animals are better than people.
That's what Tony thinks.
Yes.
And it's because, like...
It's full circle.
Yes, because Tony, I think, like... He loves the ducks like he loves his family. Because, like you said, the ducks aren't going to be sitting around in their underwear laughing at stuff on the computer that he thinks is stupid. You know what I mean? It's not going to disappoint him the way AJ did. They're not going to run away the way Meadow did. Like, they're not going to do all this stuff. So it's easier, I think, for Tony. Tony wants to love, but he is such a sociopath.
Yeah.
And is so hardened that he can't. So I feel like the only place he can get it out is in these animals. Sex, too.
Yeah.
No, not sex. He's not having sex with the animals.
What?
I said sex, too, and you said yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's not having sex with the animals, dude.
I thought he fucked a duck.
No.
No?
No, I was joking.
He's not fucking those ducks. Well, then
Do you
why
think
am I
he's
watching that show over and over?
We got to get David Chase on the show. I go, David, I
Once
know.
and for all.
I know you've gotten this a lot. All the Soprano fans ask you.
But
Tony's fucking the ducks, right?
Does he fuck those animals?
Pyomai.
Yeah.
He's fucking that horse, right?
He wanted to call her cream pie oh my, right?
I mean, right? But go ahead.
Sorry. In regard to animals, you know, we've talked about this, you know, whether Tony's a scorpion or a frog, this, that, the other. But I think Tony is neither.
What?
Tony is not a scorpion, nor is he a frog.
There's only two people in the fable.
Yeah, well, I'm putting a Ian twist on it.
Ooh, I love an Ian twist.
Yeah, I'm adding a third. We're making this a threesome. There's more than just a frog and scorpion in that water.
Who's the throuple?
It's a shark.
Ooh.
And the shark is swimming around, just waiting for a frog to put its guard down and a scorpion to try to strike, because the shark is thinking ahead, and the shark is just, the second trust is thrown out there, that's blood in the water for that shark.
So maybe like Christopher's the scorpion, but Tony is the shark.
Well, Christopher's a scorpion.
Scorpion on heroin.
That a scorpion also has a needle on it that stings you. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, interestingly enough, though, Tony has a relationship with Pyomai and starts to love Pyomai more the same way he has relationships with the people in his life, in the sense that he draws, I feel like, more close to people as they are making him money.
Yeah.
Pyomai starts to make him money, and now he gets drawn even closer to it.
Well, he moves in on that horse immediately.
So funny.
I mean, dude, he just straight up like a tractor beam to the horse, and he's saying horse things like, "Hey, why don't you make her wait in the back and then charge her up front?" And they're like, you don't know nothing. He's like, "Hey, oh, you're right. Listen to the experts." And then that happens, and Ralph, what the fuck is he thinking? He's trying to suck up to Tony.
Well, he can't afford to make an enemy out of Tony right now.
No, so he's trying to, like, hey, thanks. And he gives him some cash. And that is the first time the frog says, "Scorpion, hop on my back." And the scorpion then is in the movie Transformers and transforms into a shark.
So Tony's both. In this exact scenario.
Tony is trans.
That's true. Tony is a scorpion that identifies as a shark. I get that. I get that. Yeah.
But the second they go in that water, the second Ralph takes that money out and puts it in his hand, he's hook, line, sinker. Tony is...
Yeah. I mean, it's like I interviewed a wrestler named Nick Gage who had to take us 4-year sabbatical from his wrestling career to go to jail for bank robbery real quick.
Wow.
He was a wrestler and also addicted to drugs. And the bank robbery was for the drugs, not for the wrestling.
Right. He didn't need new tights.
No. He wrestled in a t-shirt and jeans and did drugs too. But I was talking to him about jail, and I said, like, how would a guy like me survive in jail? Because, you see it in the movies and stuff. But he said something that I never would have thought of. He said, well, somebody that looks like you better not take any phone calls. And I went, why wouldn't I take any phone calls? And he said, because if you took a phone call looking like you, people would be like, oh, he's got a family back at home who loves him. If you've got a family back at home, they're going to be sending you money. And so people would realize that if you have people that you're talking to on the phone, that those people are going to be sending you money. If you have money, that can be their money. So the next step is going to be cozying up to you, becoming your friend, doing this, and all. You think you have this like group of guys, but the only reason they've befriended you is because they saw you on the phone and they know you have money coming in. And when the money comes in, when the commissary comes in, oh, let me get this. Oh, let me get that. We're buddies. And the minute it dries up, you're fucked. Like the minute you get off the phone and that person is your friend, you're basically indebted to them until you're out of prison.
What if you take the phone call and then say, "I don't need any friends"?
You'd probably just get your ass kicked right there. You'd skip, but you would skip probably unless they killed you.
I'd take the ass beating to fucking not have to be in debt to them.
What if it was an ass reaming?
Why do you think I went to jail?
I didn't even do anything.
Yeah, I know. I'm framing myself for crimes.
Yeah. Hello, I just robbed someone's house. Whose house? Oh, I don't know.
Just lock me up and throw away the key.
Yeah. What house? I don't know.
Doesn't even matter. I'm guilty. Get me in there. Ring-a-ding-ding telephone.
So, it's so funny because, like, I remember the first time I watched this episode, I was like, oh, I guess Tony and Ralph went in on the horse together. But, like, they definitely did not go in on the horse together. Tony just enjoyed watching and wanted to gamble.
Yeah.
He gave a tip on Ralph's horse that Ralph bought.
Yeah.
And then since his tip was right, like you said,
Ralph
had to pay him.
Thought he was doing a solid.
Looking at that hand.
Dude. That scene when the horse wins again and Tony holds his hand out and Ralph gives him a little and Tony doesn't look up and keeps his hand open. And then again, Ralph puts more and Tony doesn't look up, takes more. And then it's such a beautiful thing where Tony gives like a satisfied, and then Ralph gives such a disappointed.
Because you know what that is. Like, we've all been there in grade school. Like, Tony it wasn't about the money. Tony was testing Ralph. Tony was testing him there to see how much he could get out of him. And because, like you just said, he knows this is not the last trip to the Cifaretto ATM.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that shark was, Tony put his hand out and went, na 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 na. Because Ralph said, "Is that enough?" And he went, "Nah."
That's right.
Nah.
But then we see the real care later when Ralph is getting fed up with the responsibility. You got a pet. You got a responsibility. Ralph is getting fed up with the responsibility of this horse. The horse is sick. Mm-hmm. Ralph has not paid the vet, so the vet won't take care of the horse,
and he pawns the horse off. He pawns the horse off to Tony.
Well, yeah, and it's funny because Carmela doesn't trust Tony. I mean, obviously Carmela thinks he's going out on another woman or something like that.
You bought a horse?
But it is, I mean, Tony has to go now. I think that Tony does feel, at this point, ownership of that horse, where he's paying the vet.
Right.
He's staying with that horse. I think when Tony spends the night with the horse, which I think is where they made it official.
Sense.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's where it's like, okay, that's not Ralph's horse anymore. That's now Tony's horse.
Totally. And also, is Ralph not justified in pawning that off to Tony? Because Tony is taking more of an interest in the horse. Ralph, first of all, has a line in the episode. He goes, and make sure that midget's not shy with that whip, which is great. Ralph is just such a fucking scumbag. And, I mean, really, if he's cutting Tony off so much, it kind of is Tony's horse. So is it not insane to expect Tony to kind of take care of the horse?
It only if you're equals.
Right.
Tony's the boss. Now, I think this is, on some level, Ralph being passive-aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Because he couldn't say no. He couldn't, like, when Tony had his hand out, Ralph knows that he can't say, no, I gave you enough.
Mm-hmm.
I gave you enough.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, he's going to, and I think on some level, Ralph is bored of the horse because the horse is not making him as much money as he thought because he's having to give so much money to Tony.
Yeah, how much money do you think he gave Tony?
I mean, half?
Half of how much did he win?
Oh, I don't know. But I almost think it's principle. Like when he realizes how much he's going to have to give to Tony every single time, and I don't think he's interested in being partners with Tony either. You know, in that sense, like he'll cut him off a piece of the Esplanade, whatever. But like in terms of like owning a horse together, that's a partnership. I don't think he's interested in doing that. So I think that that's part of the reason why he's not interested in taking care of this horse, because he doesn't want, because he knows that the longer he has the horse, the less it will be his horse, but he's still going to be stuck paying for it.
Yeah. And also, you know, the it's just so funny that Tony is like him just love. You don't expect someone to be loving of animals that way.
Yeah.
You know, and I like that. I used to, maybe I've shared this on the show before, but I used to live with a ex-pagan. Did I say this before?
I don't think so.
Who was in charge of the meth distribution of like Lower Delaware. And
Jesse Pinkman?
I used to live with Jesse Pinkman.
Wow.
And this dude was a hardened criminal. He had all these insane tattoos, Nazi tattoos, fucking, he had a motorcycle, and he used to let me ride on the back of it. He goes, hey man, I like you because I'll never let people pack pecker.
What a bond.
And he would be telling me these stories about, you know, extorting people for money, having his biker gang hold these guys on the ground, and he's got a bike tire on the back, revving the engine like, I'll fucking pull it. You give me that fucking money. And in the middle of it, he would look at my little Cocker Spaniel poodle mix Lucy and be like, and I'm telling this motherfucker, oh, Lucy, girl, come here, Lucy. Oh, you little cutie. Oh, you little cutie. And one day I came home and I had to hold him while he was sobbing because a dog got hit in front of our house. And he just was like, the waterworks. And I'm like, it's okay, Russell. It's okay. It was like this really wild moment.
I guess that's a real thing then. I mean, I guess it's one of those things
animals
where...
animals are the one uniter. No matter who you... I bet ISIS loves animals. They definitely got little cats in those caves.
Oh, for sure. But they're definitely having sex with the cats.
Well, Tony's having sex with the horse.
I mean, I guess that's a good point. Yeah, I mean,
they have sex with the goats. They don't have sex with the cats.
You know what I think it is? I think that to be in that life, whether it's Tony or your little friend from Delaware, I think that
his name was Russell. I called him my little Brussels sprout.
My little Russell sprout. I think that in order to live that life, you have to have like a mistrust of people. Like you do have to have a contempt for humanity.
Totally.
But there is that release, like the way some of us play video games or whatever it is, because we need a release for our aggression. We need a healthy release for the aggression that we feel. People who live that aggression lifestyle 24/7, who don't trust people, so they won't allow themselves to be vulnerable in front of people, they need a release for that niceness, the sweetness.
That's why in Ghostbusters 2, with the painting of Vigo, Peter Venkman says...
Viggy.
He needs his kitten. And he wants to put a kitten so Vigo won't be so mean.
Yeah. I mean, we can learn a lot from Ghostbusters. And that's one of the lessons that there is a duality to everybody.
Yes.
It's just some lean more to one side than the other.
Right, but also the animal thing humanizes Tony. It makes him way more interesting. And like, what better way to wipe the slate clean than to have a guy spend the night in a fucking barn taking care of a horse?
Meanwhile,
he's buying things for ducks.
But he's not taking care of his family. Carm is over here wanting to put a little money in the stock market like she's not a fucking mafia wife.
Yeah.
Thinking that she's somebody.
Yeah.
Wants to put a little money in the stock market and wants a nice trust put away.
Right. Well, why? So she can buy more gaudy furniture? Their fucking bedroom furniture is insane.
What happened to you and Carmela?
Their little TV on that marble,
on the column,
like column stand. It's like, what are you doing?
It looks like
Rome.
It looks like Las Vegas's version of Caesar's Palace.
Oh yeah, totally.
It is. It's garbage. It's garbage. It's garbage with money.
Complete garbage. Complete just gaudy, chintzy grossness.
I mean, it's going into a furniture store and going like, celebrities have this. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's a house by my mom's house that is just like head in hand gross Italian. Like they've added a fountain on the front lawn.
Yes.
They painted the fire hydrant the Italian flag colors. I salute it when I walk by, but I
salute.
I salute.
It is. It's like the same mentality of like I know of a house like on a street with all nice houses. And they literally built the house diagonal across the property so that they could use every inch of their square footage. And it's like, if you were that rich, you'd have a front yard. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But so what do you think of Carm's attempt to try to build some financial stability for herself? Obviously, this is predicated by the way she's seen the wives of these
of course
former associates.
I just wish Carm would have a serious conversation and be like, I know what you're into. I know what our life is. I know where the money comes from. There's a chance you're going to go away or die. If you love your family, you better do something to take care of them instead of this like tap dance around nonsense.
I love that he comes in and he goes, I decided we could do that thing, the stocks. She's like, it's too late, Tony. It's too late.
Yeah. She wanted like what stock did she want? Some medical stock?
Webistics. No, I don't know what it was. No, it was like, it was a stock, but you had to get in at a certain time, and Tony was hemming and hawing. This is the episode 2 where he tells her to relax because she got 2 out of the 3, right? Because he wouldn't sign.
Oh yeah, he wouldn't sign the thing that if they divorce, she gets everything.
Right.
But it's like,
I think no, but wasn't the trust that if they get divorced and he dies, she still gets everything? Like, I don't think it was just if they get divorced, she gets everything. I thought it was if they're divorced.
I thought he wouldn't sign it so that he keeps her from divorcing him. I thought that's why he didn't
I don't know, because I don't think it was like a prenup. It was a living trust. I took it, and maybe I could be wrong. I don't know. But I thought, I mean, I put all my money in like wrestling belts and sneakers, so I don't know anything about this world.
Right.
But I thought it was, if you guys get divorced and then something happens to Tony, she still gets all his stuff. And he,
as opposed to what?
He doesn't want that. I don't know. You get buried with it. I don't know what. I don't know. I don't know. I gave you 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
You gave me. Yeah. I mean, look, I think it's kind of a joke that Carmela thinks that there's any possibility of legitimacy coming out of this. By the way, we haven't even talked about this on the show. Did you see the Super Bowl commercial?
Oh, yeah.
With
Meadow.
I want
and
to.
AJ.
Okay, here's my plan.
Yeah.
After we do the entire series, I want to do a bonus Prima Volta episode where we break down the commercial and we discuss. Because to me, the commercial is canon.
Yeah.
Because not only is it Meadow and AJ.
Right.
It was directed by David Chase.
Yes.
The Sopranos crew came back. To me,
amazing.
That's canon. It goes, if you look at The Sopranos, it goes technically timeline-wise, Many Saints of Newark, then the entire Sopranos show, then the Chevy commercial.
Right.
That's the Sopranos timeline.
Right.
So I feel like at the end of the last episode when we do a Prima Volta, we do a Prima Volta of the commercial.
Right.
I mean, it won't be a Prima Volta, but it's still, we can break it down.
I would hope there would be. It's a Volta.
It's a Volta.
I would hope that there'd be more of those commercials.
Like, how's like Chevy does like a series of commercials that just follow. I'm going to tell you this right now. I was watching that commercial, and I go, look, clearly this is a car commercial. I've seen a lot of this car. But if you were to tell me this is Meadow Soprano, you know, and her lawyer show or whatever, she doctor, whatever, I go, I'm in. I'm in for the Meadow Sopranos.
I don't understand why there has been a spinoff of the Sopranos with some of these characters. Or like
David Chase won't do it.
That'd be cool if in the commercial they take the truck and AJ and Meadow meet up, and then they go pick up Christopher and Adriana, and then Carmela, and then Paulie and Sil hop in the back. And they're riding along, and then they like say hi to Ralph. They don't really like Ralph, but then they go along, and then they're like, "Hey, let's go get Melfi," and they grab Melfi, and then they all go to Tony's gravesite and have a barbecue.
You do know that you think Tony's dead?
Well,
you don't know. You haven't seen it. You just know the lore of the finale.
I know the lore of the show.
You know the lore of the finale, like you know the end of any show.
Yeah, but also Gandolfini's dead.
Oh, okay. So, and then you find out it's just
he's not going to be in the show.
You find out just the actors going to Jim Gandolfini's grave. And you're like, this is a morbid car commercial.
No, I don't
like this at all.
That's the thing. I am watching the show for the first time, but there's no way you can live
for the Prima Volta?
The world. The Prima Volta. There's no way you can live in the world without hearing some sort of rumor about the last episode. All I know is that something goes black in Journey Place. That's all I know.
What do you think of the fact that Adriana was actually kind of sad that Danielle, or whatever her real name is not going to be on the case anymore, and that she's got to deal with this cop that she didn't even... Well, that was
such an interesting posturing thing, because she was like, Danielle, whatever the fuck your name is, and then she introduces her to a new agent, and she goes, where are you going? And she's like crying,
Yeah. Yeah, because it's almost like...
Adriana gets fucked at every angle.
Yeah, but she's...
What?
She's stupid.
Yeah. But just because she's dumb doesn't mean she has to get fucked.
Now, she's starting to get worried now, Aid, about the club, because it's becoming a complete mafia hangout. It's the Bing Jr.
Well, first of all, yes, it's a Bing Jr., and my new favorite band is Hot Soup Mondays or whatever.
It's the best. It's the best part of is when like this starts to happen, because there's so much early 2000s rock thrown in.
No Soup radio.
Adriana just loves butt rock.
Yeah,
she loves butt rock.
It's great. Dude, and I got the greatest alternative bands from Jersey. Oh, wow. I got Mr. Green Jeans.
New Jersey always was the mecca of alternative rock.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. New Jersey's alternative rock. But here's the thing that made me so sad for Adriana. She's in that, like, bakery or whatever, and the new agent's like, what about Pussy Boppin' Sarah?
I was just about to say this.
And she goes, well, he's in witness protection. And then the agent goes, is he? And then they go, and your uncle. And she goes, he's in witness protection too. And then it just starts dawning on her.
But it's like that level of naivete. Like that's Adriana's different than Carmela. Like Carmela knows, she just won't admit it to herself.
Right.
Adriana was really walking around thinking that all those people were in witness protection.
Yes.
Like she really,
yeah.
I think she probably does not think Christopher's ever killed somebody or would.
No, but she sees Christopher in the back room or whatever. They're kind of like roughing a guy up. And she starts to go like, wait a minute. And it's like, how long have you been with this
idiot.
guy?
She's an idiot.
Yeah, and you know what sucks for me?
No?
Is that when we started this Prima Volta, I'm like, oh, my chick in real life's a Carmen and Aid combined. And now I'm seeing that is such a bad mix. And I'm trying to figure out who the fuck I am, who the fuck she is, and I don't think we could be anybody on the show. These are not good people, Sam.
No, you're right, because even if your girl is Charmaine, does that make you Artie Bucco?
I thought for a second, well, Charmaine's good, but then that means I'm a fucking Artie and fucking put one in the back of my head. Here, and here. Like I'm voting for a guy in the union, because I ain't no Artie fucking Bucco.
There have been some comments on the videos on YouTube that says Ian doesn't realize that he is Artie Bucco.
You're full of shit. No one said that.
They've said it.
Who? Show me.
Well, I don't have my computer open.
Yeah, how convenient.
I'm doing the show right now. I have seen, though, like, Ian does not know how Artie he is.
See, here's the thing. You're doing this thing where you do that to push me, and I'm not taking it because I'm not Artie.
Do you like Artie?
Would take it. Artie is the definition of a boob. He is a complete boob, and he stinks.
I feel like I'm doing a Ray Liotta laugh over here.
Artie is such a tit.
Well, Artie's not even part of this episode.
I know. We'll get to Artie, but that fucking tit. Anyway, there's got to be some new characters that come in that make me feel nice.
Well, do you think that Adriana doesn't want mob activity in her club, or do you think that it's 100% that she just doesn't? She's nervous because if it's in her club, that means she's going to be associated with it, which means she's going to have to rat.
Yes, and she knows that they know that it's now in her club, and they're going to want to wire her up, and they're going to want to this, and they're going to do that, and then she's going to be implicated. She can't run from it, you know. And these guys are in there acting like dickheads. Vito breaks a chair. They're fucking buying a bunch of shit. It's very rude behavior.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do this, be nice about it. You know.
Well, yeah, but that's part of the fun of being in the mafia and having your own place is that like nobody can't tell you nothing.
Yeah, but if
even
I was
though
in
it's
the
like
mafia,
it's counteractive because it is your place. Like if you're shitting it up, then it's like that's your money.
I know. I'd be nice if I was in the mafia. I'd be the one that everyone goes, he's in the mafia, but he's a nice fella.
Who is that on the show?
Well, that's why I'm going to be
in the
new car commercial.
Oh, I love that.
They're going to introduce me.
They're like, hey, who's that? And they're like, oh, that's Ian. He's from the Delaware Mafia. He's very nice.
Yeah.
But he is in the Mafia.
Yeah.
But he's very nice.
He's very nice.
You know, what about Bobby? What about Bobby Bacala? He's very nice.
Oh, yeah. He is. I really like how Bobby showed up in this episode.
Well, yeah, Bobby was having a tough time. Now, okay, this is going to be a double-edged sword because Janice, for the first time, really started getting territorial.
Dude.
Because she saw, you remember
JoJo in the kitchen.
You remember her.
And also the line that's great is that she goes, like the president said, we must move on. Just like slightly referencing 9/11 a little. We will prevail.
Which like, yeah, he never actually said that. Also, I can't see JoJo Palmese without thinking of like one of my favorite last words ever.
Wait, was that
Why don't
her?
you take a Midol? Yeah, that's Mikey Palmice's widow.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I
Yeah.
thought she was kind of coming on to Bobby.
She was.
Oh.
Because she's a widow. She's single.
And you know what? Janice does that thing with the binoculars. I had a great aunt that would do that.
What?
Spy on me, my mom and dad with her binoculars.
Ooh.
The house I was born in, she lived catty corner to it, would look through with the binoculars and come over when we were home, and we had to move. It was a problem. My great aunt Julia, she stunk. She was.
Yeah, but you don't think, what about Janice?
She's a fat pig snake. Aunt Julia, she was a fat pig, but she wasn't a snake.
Janice?
Fat pig snake.
I see. I understand.
I mean, dude, the level of manipulation and just gross behavior by this woman with just staring at JoJo until she leaves, which I thought was kind of like do you know who my brother is kind of thing.
Oh, definitely.
You know?
Definitely. Like, JoJo knows she can't go there. Yeah, because I think JoJo, because you look at like Ro, and she was Jackie April's wife.
Yes.
But you don't leave that family, so it's like that's why she ended up with Ralph. I mean, we all know what happened there, but she ended up with Ralph. So I think that JoJo, don't forget that Mikey was about to be a pretty key part of Junior's crew before, Junior got locked up and he got shot on his jog. Why don't you take a Midol?
Yeah.
And JoJo's not out, but what's she gonna do? So she's trying, I think, to use Bobby the way Ro kind of used
Ralphie.
Not that Ro was ever using Ralphie,
Right.
but you know what I mean. I think that she saw it the same way, but
I would so much rather JoJo hook up with Bobby than Janice, and her thing with the ZD. My God,
trying to get him to eat the widow, the dead wife's ZD. You should eat it. You should eat it.
That is sacrilege.
It's sick.
You don't eat a dead woman's ZD.
Like, you leave it in the freezer for years.
Yes. It's a wedding cake.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
freeze it forever. And
technically, you're supposed to have the wedding cake a year later. You take a bite.
You can take it out, but you leave a bite at her gravesite.
That's beautiful.
Where her grave is next to Tony's, and I am in the car with everyone having fun.
And by the way, you put it, if you're cremating her, not that you ever would, because we're Catholic here, but if you're cremating her, you put the food in with her, and then what you do is you have a cute little nickname for her ashes. Baked ZD.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah.
I want to be cremated and put in tobacco and cigarettes and have all my friends smoke me.
That's dope.
Yeah?
That's super cool.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then maybe you could put your ashes into little boxes instead of urns, and we could all roll them up in our sleeves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or when I become friends with Christopher, because I'm going to continue the car commercial, which will turn to a series, I'll get cremated into bags of heroin and he can shoot me.
I love that idea. Right between his toesies.
Yes.
Yes.
In front of the little piggies.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I love it. So Janice does effectively scare off JoJo, but it's interesting that you say you like the way Bobby stepped up.
Yeah.
Because realistically, that was motivated by Janice. Now, Janice...
Yeah, what was that about?
Okay, so my feeling on that is that Janice doesn't want what's best for Bobby.
She just wants security for her.
Yeah, Janice wants to be Bobby's woman, and she wants Bobby to start rising up in the rankings. She's realized that she's finally got her harpy claws onto somebody that she can manipulate, but also can rise up the ranks. So the minute that Bobby is not being useful to Junior, that makes Bobby less useful to Janice.
Tony is a scorpion shark, and Janice is a snake pig vulture.
Pig fuck. Yeah.
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 And we find out she stole Carmela's lasagna and gave it to Bobby. June's trying to help Bobby out. Bobby won't listen.
June's saying she can't cook. It's not her food.
Yeah. Yeah. And then fucking Uncle Junior's becoming one of my favorites. He's upset with the court artist's depiction of him.
Because he looks old.
Yeah.
He looks old.
Yeah.
He's got that vanity. I don't think Junior was ever a looker, but he doesn't like how old he looks.
No, it's hilarious. And he gets mad at the older guy that takes care of him. He's like, "You really going to wear that to court?" And then when he's talking to Bobby, the guy makes noise. He goes, "Go see what that racket's about." Like, it's just so great.
Yeah, I do love as much as I love Bobby, and I'm glad he's on the show. I do love when the old man is looking after Junior. It's such a funny, odd couple relationship. They don't like each other.
And it's just such good comic relief.
Yes.
You know, it's just great. Like, all this is going on in this world that we are, watching and being led into. And while it's all going on, Junior is on the trial of his life. And he's like, they're making me look ugly. I look better than that. And what's Bobby saying? He goes, "If he was a good artist, he'd be in a museum."
He's trying to be sweet.
Thanks, Bobby.
I mean, that's literally the same Bobby that showed up in the orange coveralls to go into the Pine Barrens. He's just it's
a curse being shy.
Yeah, there's an earnestness. There's an earnestness to Bobby Bacala.
Well, that's why I liked seeing him step up and be intimidating to that union guy.
Yeah.
I thought that was so slick.
So did Janice.
Wow. Speaking of slick, she fucking
so
like
did
that.
Janice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slug Trail.
Oh, have a little mozzarella on the seat.
It's disgusting.
So is Slug Trail.
So looking back, right?
Yeah.
Because this is your Prima Volta.
Yes.
Did you think that Junior would be a comic relief character? Like, in the beginning, keep in mind, season 1, which we covered the entire season in one episode.
Insane.
You can go back and find it.
Insane.
Yeah.
Should we go back and do those?
We might have to.
Yeah. Like, how did we do a whole season wrap up?
Well, we were just testing the waters, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think we'll have to figure out
so funny.
how to say second in Italian. And we'll do the next thing will be second Volta.
Segundo.
But
no,
that's it.
Saturday in Spanish.
No, that's Sabado.
Correctamundo.
You know what? Sabado Volta, though, does have a...
Sabado Volta.
We'll put it out on Saturday.
Yes.
Are you surprised that Junior has evolved into a comic relief character when the first season of the show was all about the struggle for power between Junior and Tony?
Well, Junior is kind of neutered right now.
Correct.
So Junior has no other role but to be a comic relief kind of background thing. And what I love about the show is that there's a shift in characters where one character, like the comic relief on the show usually comes from Christopher, Paulie, now Junior, Ralph. Do we get comic relief from Tony?
I think, yeah, but without him knowing it.
Right.
Yeah, just kind of.
Well, also without Christopher knowing it.
Yeah, Christopher's an idiot. Tony is witty.
Yeah.
I think Tony's witty.
Tony is witty. He's had some funny things, but the true like comic relief is Paulie. It was Paulie, but Paulie's been out. Paulie's in prison.
And now even when there are scenes with him, he's so bitter and uncomfortable that he's not funny anymore.
Yeah, and he's so his head's so far up Johnny Sack's ass, I can't even hear him be funny.
Yeah, it's like a 90-pound mole.
Yeah, all I hear when fucking Paulie talks is, "It's hot in your asshole, Johnny."
You're a professional comedian, right? That's very, very good. That's very good.
I hope no one sees me on the phone in prison because they'll use me. Thank God I'm hiding in your ass, Johnny Sack.
I'm in your butt.
Hey, oh, it's stinky over here.
You know, in your butt.
That's professional.
Yeah,
comedian.
That's it. That's what it's like. You know, why aren't I further along in the business? I mean, we're doing everything we're supposed to. You know. Well, okay. So coming off of this episode, are there any new worries, any concerns, any sort of interesting?
Here's what's interesting.
Evaluations.
It's interesting that Carm's cousin Brian, is that Carm's cousin?
Yeah.
he is starting to show up a little bit, and Tony at the end of in the episode, his financial advisor fucks up with the horse or whatever.
Ginsburg.
Tony shifts from like Ginsburg to like Brian somehow, I guess.
And I asked you this at the end of the last episode, and you said no. But I ask you again. Do you worry about Brian at all? We know that Tony manipulates, takes advantage of, takes possession of. I mean, Tony is...
Has anyone come into Tony's world that he has not spun for his own web weaving?
Aside from his kids.
Right.
Because he doesn't do that to his kids. He does it to his wife, but he doesn't do it to his kids. The ducks.
Pyomai.
Yeah. And I mean, he's fucking them.
Well, yeah,
so,
he's just taking care of Pyomai so he can fuck her.
Yeah, so...
he's whining, dining, digging them and dump them in that stable.
No, honestly, I don't...
Yes, I don't know if Brian would be any different.
I mean, Tony's like a demon that takes possession of human bodies. And
he is Sun Tzu from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
He is a soul sucker.
Yeah.
He is a complete soul sucker. And I said this to my gal. I said, I don't know if I could keep watching this show because I can't root for these people anymore. They fail me at every turn. Is there one good person in this goddamn show? I believe in the goodness of people and they're failing me. Can't they all just get along?
I mean, no, they're literally in the mafia.
Right, but do they have to be so snake-headed against each other?
Yeah, they're literally in the mafia.
Yeah, but when you make money, I make money. So when I make money, you make money. So can't we all put our heads together and not be a Medusa's head, but be like a tree with growing branches, and we see the fruits of our labor together?
I mean, you cannot temporarily shut off your morality. Once you shut down your morality for the purpose of business, you've excused yourself to not turn it back on.
So you think people can't change?
No, they can change, but they can't go back and forth, meaning you can be a reformed... People can absolutely change, but they can't do two things at once. Like, you could, if you were able to get out of the mob, like, go into witness protection, like Richie or Pussy or somebody like that, and you say goodbye to all that, and you actually get a real job, and you start to live a different life, then sure. But I don't think...
Could anyone ever leave the mob without getting in witness protection and just be like, hey, handshake, I won't tell?
You take an oth. You take an oath.
The oath, I forgot. The one oath you won't take with me.
No, I won't, because I want the option of leaving.
Well, that's news to me. I thought we were going to Volta till we die.
What did I sign up for?
Ultimately a death Volta.
Well, I guess I'll just have to kill you then. Yeah, I know. I don't think you can live a life of crime and be a moral person. I don't think it's possible.
No, I think you can lead a life of crime. All right, all the kayfabe away. I think you can lead a life of crime and then reflect and become moral as long as you don't go back to that. You can reform yourself with rehabilitation, a lot of work, but you can't be moral while committing crimes unless you have to have a level of lying to yourself that in order to get through that.
Christopher can't have one drink.
No.
It's either he's not drinking or he's doing heroin in his toesies.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Well, listen, now that we've laid it down for everybody, I want you to lay it down for us. Lay it down in the comments.
Yeah.
Lay it down with the thumbs up likes.
Yes.
And lay it down with the subscribe and to turn the bell on for the alerts.
Yes. Yeah. Turn that bell on and lay it down like a sick horse in a stable.
That's right.
Because when you lay it down, we'll be there to smoke a cigar, take care of you, and fuck you. Right, Sam?
I mean, I don't know for sure. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably not. But I will say this. We appreciate you. We appreciate Big Mouth Billy Bass. And we will be back 1 week from today. For me, we'll be discussing an episode that I've seen many, many times. But for Ian Fidance, you can see at the Stress Factory this weekend, it will be Ian's Prima Volta.